from the beginning of the year, I knew you guys would do well. Win the comp, I didn't say it happened.
Adam Reynolds will not be playing rugby league in 2 years' time.
Yeah,
I don't know about. Hang on.
He couldn't even finish the grand final, bro.
No,
I have never celebrated any team the way I celebrated the Broncos winning that comp. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another brand new episode of League Chat with the Stat. Thank you for joining again for another episode this month. I always say this week, it's always a monthly episode that we do. So thank you again for tuning in. Much appreciated. I know that the NRL season is over, but it's international footy, but I don't want to talk about that. And you're wondering why I'm sitting here at all spots. I got kicked out of my host seat due to size differences. But anyway, we'll address that shortly. But look, let's get straight into it. Let's introduce our guests. The most we've ever had on the podcast for an NRL one. So that's going to be pretty cracker. Right next to me is Big Bill. Wales.
Fantastic, Stat. How you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm superb. Thank you. So I've got Billy next to me, and on the couch over here we have Jacob and Emil. What up, lads?
Mate, it's good to be hosting the podcast in your seat.
I don't know why I just did an intro. I wasted my time.
I'll take it from here. I'll ask the questions.
Thank you, mate.
Looking
forward to it.
It's great. Thanks for having us, bro.
Oh, good. How are you, Emil?
Yeah, mate, good.
That's good,
Very
mate.
good.
Very good. Well, obviously we're going to talk about Broncos because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've become a big fan of the Broncos since the grand final. But I just want to talk about your perspectives on the Broncos season. Just want to get in a bit of a deep dive from your perspectives on how you guys think you went throughout the year. Because obviously it started off pretty good, then there was a bit of a slump, and then there was like a bit of a kick up the guts, and then you guys went on the run that you guys went on. But Emil, I want to kick it off with you, and I'm just going to do it straight away because I can't wait to get it off my chest. In the off season, so for context, when Kevin Walters got sacked, Emil was not pleased, obviously. And then when there was talk of Maguire signing and then he signed, Emil had some choice comments. Would you like to recap what those comments were, Emil?
Yeah, no, I think Maguire is an amazing coach with an all-star team.
Mm-hmm.
So he took Souths with an all-star team, took them to glory, took New South Wales to glory, took the Kiwis to glory, and then took us, obviously, to the premiership as well. Look, it wasn't... I think it was more so bitterness towards Kevin Walters getting sacked.
Yeah.
Rather than a dig on Madge. I actually wanted Madge as our coach when we went for Seabold.
Yep.
But for me, I thought after last year, I thought maybe we need a rebuild again. Seeing the way the team went down, how it ended last year. But in saying that, I will stand by my comments. I don't care. Madge is a great coach. I've always thought that. But if Payne Haas played 12 games this year, if Reece Walsh played 12 games this year like last year,
yeah,
it would end up in the exact same position.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
No, I agree with that. I actually agree with that. Bill, you obviously don't seem to agree with that.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but I also think if we had Kevvie this year, we don't win. So, yes, we would have struggled a lot like last year if that was the situation. But how high would our ceiling have been? I don't think we go on the run that we went on because it was insane, to be honest. So...
Yeah, you never know. We will literally never know.
Yeah, it's true.
Like which way it would have gone, right? So at the end of the day, like we're talking, these are Kevvie's assistants too. So he obviously needed support last year. Didn't get that support. Got 2 new assistants. They work pretty well with Madge too. I think Madge has brought in a hard edge to this team.
Yep.
That Kevvie couldn't, obviously. But in saying that, Kevvie had a more rookie team 2 years ago. And took him within 3 minutes of winning that grand final against, in my opinion, a much stronger Panthers team.
Yep.
So it's hard to say. I think Kevvie was unfairly sacked, but it is what it is. Like it's done.
Yeah.
It's worked. It's clearly worked. So Madge has worked. So I can't not be happy about that.
Yeah, you can't
But
continue.
at the same time, it's... I don't know if is bittersweet the word. Like I wish Kevvie was there in some sort of capacity because I think nobody has more passion for the Broncos than that guy.
Yeah. No, I agree with you in the sense that he was hard done by and got sacked. Because like you said, everything's backed it up. Walsh didn't play that many games. The spine was affected most of the year. You guys played maybe 6 or 7 games altogether last year as a spine. And then in those games that you played, you won most of them. So it was more that the injuries were a factor. But What was it about Maguire that you mentioned that he brought a hard edge to the team, and you could see that throughout the year because I noticed that throughout the year in different aspects, but it really became clinical in the last 7-8 weeks when that kind of the season was wrapping up, and then you guys went on the run that you went on. Because I got to say, from the beginning of the year, I knew you guys would do well. Win the comp, I didn't see it happening. I thought if with under Maguire you would win a comp. I didn't see it happening first year, and I saw it happening maybe 3 or 4 years in the piece because you talked about a rebuild as well. So I thought he would get his own players in and everything else. But I did have a concern because when he was at the Tigers, and I know it doesn't really count if you coach the Tigers because they're just a basket case of a club anyway. But
They got worse and worse and worse.
they get worse and worse. But at the time, he recruited very questionable players like James Roberts and everyone else. So I was scared that he was going to probably do that again. But I knew that having learned from the experiences from, Tigers, from Kiwis, from the Blues, and having success at Kiwis and Blues, that he'd actually be better fit for the Broncos this time around. Jake, coming into the season, did you love Maguire signing after the sacking of Walters? Did you think he was the man for the job, or did you have anyone else in mind?
Look, to be honest, I'm still bitter about this board for sacking Bennett.
Yeah,
is the honest truth. And this is a problem that a lot of Brisbane fans have seen. We got rid of Wayne Bennett twice, and he this is probably arguably the top 2 best coaches, top 3 best coaches of all time. So we get rid of Bennett, then they bring in.
Let me pause you there. There's no top 2, 3. He's the best.
Top
Yeah,
two and
arguably.
not two.
Yeah. Well, look, Craig Bellamy, Cleary, and Bennett. Obviously, Bennett, you could argue, is the best. I don't think Cleary's there yet, but, Bennett and Bellamy. But anyway, so everyone's still bitter at the board for sacking Bennett twice, and we didn't take our medicine from that. And then Bennett goes on and takes Souths to the grand final as well, right? Then we bring in a bunch of, the Anthony Seibold appointment really annoyed a ton of Broncos fans. Then we get Walters back. He finally builds the club up to a position where it deserves to be. He's a Broncos man through and through. He's a fan favourite. Everyone loves Walters. And he took us from a basket case to minutes within winning a comp, right?
Yep.
And he built an unbelievable squad. Walsh came back in the seasons under Walters. Adam Reynolds was a marquee signing under Walters. So Walters built that roster, right? Could Walters have won a comp with that roster? We're not sure. We seem to think, well, he didn't do it, but again, they were inexperienced and maybe you got to lose one to win one or whatever. We get in Madge, and so I still think the board had to prove themselves. It was more like, as a Broncos fan, the board was the one who was in question as opposed to Madge. I have no problem with Madge. Yeah. He's a big game coach. He seems to get it done in the big games, and he's proven that. Can he build a roster, and can he do what Kevin Walters done getting us to that position? We still actually don't know.
That's true.
Because we've still got to see this roster evolve. We've still got to go through evolutions of this Broncos team. This team had way too much talent to end up where it did in actually 2 of the seasons that Walters coached. The first one, and then we went to the grand final, and then that second one. Yes, we had injuries and whatnot. So did I have expectations? I made a bet with Michael Sardi on a $100 bet that Broncos were making the top 8. I think they're a top 4 team. The only thing stopping us was seeing if Madge gels with the players and whatnot. They still had to get the hard edge. They had endless amounts of talent, but they needed to turn the corner on when things get hard. They need to hang in there, and they need to come home strong. Madge seems to have gotten that out of the players. Now, there was also apparently a point in the season where we went through that rough patch where the boys got together and a couple of the leaders, Ben Hunt and Reno, went to Madge and said, this is sort of what the players' perspective is. We need to pivot this, and that. And apparently they did. Another big signing in the background, Ben Teo. Yep. I've been listening to a lot of his work as a defensive coach and whatnot. Baz there. So
who signed him, Jacob?
Kevin Walters. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Walters. So he built this roster. He built that organization back from where it was, right? Now, does he get it done? Who knows? Did Madge get it done? Obviously, he's a big game. Now, here's where I actually think Kevin should be assistant coach again and help build the next evolution of rosters because he's got a knack for that. But Madge has got the knack for being intense enough to get the job done. Kevin seems to be more one of the boys and whatnot. So what were my expectations? The Brisbane Broncos are always a top 8 team. That's not in question. 92 till Wayne Bennett left. I never saw the Broncos not finish in the top 8. I was born in 92, by the way. So, were we a top 8 club? Absolutely. Were we a top 4? Questionable. Didn't know. We scraped there in the end. But once we got into that top 4 spot, let me tell you, there was an inkling in every Broncos fan and every football fan, I think, that you do not want to play the Brisbane Broncos in the final series. That is one team I don't want to play because I don't know what I'm going to get. But when they get it right, they are the best in the comp. And that's why it was so frustrating. Every year we weren't winning comps or we weren't competing for comps. It's so hard as a Broncos fan to watch them because I expect the best out of my club. I expect the top 4 team. I expect a tough team. And some of the years we didn't deliver, but thank God we delivered this year. Anyway, long-winded way of saying, didn't have much expectations. Top 8, top 4 if we got lucky. We made the top 4. And then I sort of knew if we went on a run, we'd get it done, which we did.
Yeah, you gave a point. No, I really appreciate that take because you gave a point of view of the board. And that's something I probably didn't really take into account. That when you look at a lot of the clubs in their boards, and like, for example, like I just spoke about earlier, the Tigers, they always seem to get it wrong. And they've been getting it wrong for the last 20 years, right? But it's not something I considered when it came to the Broncos. And it didn't occur to me that the bitterness still stung from sacking Bennett at the time. But when the Broncos... So the thing is, Madge came in, and before I think he technically started, Ezra Mam had that whole ordeal in the offseason. Yeah. So having to come in, the biggest club in Australia, biggest club, there is, in Australian sport, to then come in and be like, okay, this guy's just gone on a rampage that he's done and whatever, I have to get into the details. That's your first assignment. My immediate thought is that's hard enough for Madge to come into straight away to then also plan the preseason to do everything else. So there was a lot of challenges in the beginning, with that. And then I think the positive came from the offseason coming was signing Ben Hunt. Because I was dying for him to come to the Dogs.
By the way, who planted that seed?
Kevvie Walters?
Yeah. He was trying to get him the year before as well.
Yeah. So we can't deny that Kevin Walters had his hand in it all. He's still bitter.
I'm so angry, bro.
No, but I can understand.
Yeah.
It's like when Penrith fans, like for example, Penrith's run, like a lot of it attributes to what Gould did in the background and everything else. Not to say that every single year it's rejoicing Gould, but it's the sense that he built the club to where it is, and from that there's been success. So I can understand that point of view about Kevin Walters as well, But Brisbane had to overcome so much that not many people, like the only person that I saw that from like 2 rounds out before the final series, Brad Fittler, was the only one that said that Broncos will win the comp. And everyone, including myself, laughed at him. So, mate, this guy's an absolute basket case. There's a reason he's not the New South Wales coach anymore. He's a flop. He shouldn't get paid for his...
I remember that pass, the Broncos scored. It was against the Cowboys. It was 2 rounds out before the finals. Against the Cowboys, and Brad Fittler literally comments, they're going to the grand final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made the call and we all laughed at him and thought he's a basket case, and we're the basket case.
Every finals preview, every game, everyone was writing the Broncos off. Even like Joey Johns, Matty Johns, or Cooper Cronk, bro. Cooper Cronk could not stop riding the storm the whole grand final, the whole final series. Anyway, that was frustrating to see all the big commentators sort of riding the Broncos off. When I just thought, bro, how can we not go on this run? We're too talented to not get the job done. Madge and Ezra Mam, bro, that was tough.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you think of the Ezra Mam call?
I mean, I think he's like the board. He had a lot to prove.
Yeah.
The fact that he didn't get punted, sacked, whatever you want to call it, the fact that we kept him, like he had something to prove about why they had faith in him. And if they're going to keep him around, which, to be honest, I don't know about you guys, but with a lot of Broncos fans, it wasn't that popular a decision. Like, we were kind of like, stuff the guy, get rid of him. And he was so influential in that final. Like, the board had something to prove. He had something to prove. I mean, I think the board is very relieved that the Madge decision worked and the Mam decision worked, because without them, I don't think we win.
Yeah,
I think I do think the Mam decision was taken out of their hands though. There was the NRL's decision at the end with the 9 weeks. It wasn't the Broncos.
But the Broncos
my
could have taken a stand and just been like, we don't want anything to do with a player like
but
that.
I think they wouldn't do that. The reason is another club will just sign him.
Oh, 100%.
So I think the NRL should have ripped up his contract, and I actually think he should be in jail.
I actually completely.
But the Broncos could have made that decision to be like, no, we want to set an example that we're, I mean, like what Gould's been trying to do with the Dogs. We're a good, honest family club.
Yes, signing Galvin.
Yeah, so,
what a signing.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I think we needed Mam in the end. At first, I was kind of against it. I don't know about you
Was he
guys.
in that grand final?
But in that grand final, like defensively
He's
is
such a
where he
clutch
really
player.
stood
Yeah.
out. Like he made a number of
few
defensive
errors.
plays, and like that whole second half, our defense was on fire, and he was a big part of that. He brought a lot of energy to us, and he actually made crucial plays that I don't think we win without him. And I mean, is it great that he did what he did and now he's winning us a grand final? Like, not great, but
Can I ask?
good call. In the end
Going
of the day.
back, who was the Queensland fullback for game 1 and 2?
I
it
don't think
Ponga?
Walsh ever got a run in.
He didn't.
No. He was injured,
I
but
think the
wasn't he?
turning
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
For
He
game,
wouldn't have got picked. He was healthy for game 3.
Right.
And Slater picked Hamaso.
That's right. That's
Yes.
And
right.
in my opinion,
Sounds
that
right.
was the turning point for Walsh in that season.
I mean, look,
Because
Walsh.
round 20 on, when does Origin finish? Probably round 18, 19.
18. Yeah.
Round 20 onwards, Walsh is a freak.
Yeah,
I
as
had
someone
two
who
buys
had
in that,
Walsh
but-
in Supercoach for the first half of the season, it was very rocks or diamonds. Like, he'd come out and make 10 errors and cost us the game, or he'd make 5 or 6 unreal plays and we win the game. But towards the end, he barely made any errors for like 6, 7. It was unreal. He just making the right reads, making the right plays, coming up at the right time of the game and making the play that just swung to. It was crazy.
Let's go back to early in the season. Walsh gets injured. We verse the Bulldogs. We beat them like 38-12 or whatever it was. 38-12 or whatever it was with Selwyn Cobbo at fullback.
That's right.
And everyone was saying Cobbo should be our fullback. That's how bad Walsh was in the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying Selwyn Cobbo should be our fullback. And there was big talk. He's going to get a release. He's going to be on $1 million a year somewhere else. Within 4 weeks, the bloke was in reserve grade.
Yeah.
Even though he started the year pretty good. He had a couple of bad games. But within 4 weeks, he was in reserve grade. Never made it back.
Yeah.
Walsh ends the season as the best player in the world.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how long the NRL season is. How many twists and turns there are as well. It's just nuts.
I was watching a press conference with Walsh, and I asked him sort of over the course of that year what was going through, and so he said Madge, credit to Madge, they go, he said Madge throughout that time I got injured just got me to take my mind away from footy. He's very much a footy nut, and he's always on his phone watching the games, watching highlights,
Yep.
seeing where he can improve or whatever. And you could just sort of see in that early part of the season, he was overplaying his hand. Things weren't happening. He tried to force it. Madge has got a new philosophy that sort of maybe cut him out of the game a little
Yeah.
bit, tried to be a bit more disciplined and whatever. And sometimes the freaks have just got to be freaks, bro. Like, you've just got to get the ball into his hands, bloke, and let him rip. So having that time on the sideline, focusing on his family, his daughter, doing that sort of stuff, apparently got his mind off the game. And then when he was on, he was on. And when he was off the field with his family, he was off the field with his family. So
Yeah.
apparently Madge coached him and mentored him through that. I want to ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
Seeing I'm in the host seat.
Thank you, brother.
No
What
worries.
honor to be on your show.
So Emil, you had a take on it, but what moment did you think turned around the season for the Broncos? What game? What game?
I don't know the game that it was.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I do know the game it was. When we got thumped by Melbourne, and we lost Cobbo, Hunt, and Reynolds
one
and Mam
play.
all in the same game. Almost like all in one
In
play.
Melbourne. I was at that game.
Yeah.
No way.
And I mean,
We were playing good for those first 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes
yeah,
until that happened.
we took the two,
had it.
and then we got absolutely decimated. But to your point about Walsh not forcing things, I think the other Walters, Billy, and him worked really, really
Electric.
well, and Hunt. But like, there was more of a reliance and a freedom on Walsh to do his thing, and it wasn't. I finally got the ball from the third receiver. Now I got to quickly make a play. Oh no, I throw a bad pass, intercept, or out about like. He got his hands on the ball a lot more, and it kind of unlocked him. And I think it gave him the confidence because, like, to your point, he was overthinking things. He was trying to force things early in the season. When he had more time and space and ball, it just made us go to another level. And it also took his mind off, I only have like 1 or 2 options. I got to quickly diagnose it and make, like, he actually got to run with the ball, put defenses in tough situations, and then make the right reads. And I think that Melbourne loss was the turning point because that was like our last bad loss. I think we lost to the Eels after that, like a few weeks
lost-
later, which was
No,
yeah.
the Storm one was even after that. The Storm one was round 23.
Yep.
Eels was round 21.
okay. So around that period,
But
from
it was that game against the Sharks. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah,
we
I
were down by
almost
like
turned it
14
off.
or 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were terrible.
Yeah.
We were absolutely terrible. And that was after I think we got thumped by the Seagulls.
That was the lowest point. That
That
Manly-
Seagulls one, yeah.
yeah, that was bad.
That was
Yeah.
awful.
That was bad.
Well, I read somewhere on that Seagulls game. So you guys,
They all went out drinking.
they
Yeah.
all went out. Yeah, Ben Teo.
Yeah.
Went up again. The influence of Ben Teo had on the side in that season. He went up to Madge and said, "Let the boys be boys for a little bit.
Yeah.
Let them go out. Let them get on the drink. Let them do what they need to do to just bond a little bit and let it rebuild their season." Right now, for me, the turning, like I want to say, it was a turning point, but getting a taste of the Broncos and what they're capable of doing was against the Dogs.
Yeah.
Was against the Dogs.
comeback.
That comeback.
That was
With all of our players out.
With
by
all
the way.
players
Yeah,
gone,
with all
we only had
Origin,
we had a couple
yeah.
players missing as well, but not to the effect that Brisbane had, because we were up 18-0 and we made that many errors with 20 to go. That comeback came on. I remember watching it at a Supercoach barbecue. What a time! And I went the second you guys scored the first try, I said we can't come back. But I feel like that was the taste of the first sighting of Madge's influence in the side of that hard edge that the game is 80 minutes.
Yep.
You hang in for 80 minutes, no matter what the scoreboard what it says on the scoreboard.
Ezra Mam lit it up
Yep.
that game.
Yes. Yeah.
What's his name? Willison lit
Yes.
it up that game.
Yep.
I remember.
Karapani?
So the night,
Yep.
the backstory, yeah, Karapani. The backstory is it was our end of financial year party that night, and let me tell you, there was some drinks flowing that night,
Oh, yeah,
and
the doggy supporters
just
was
lots of lubricants. Then we went out to the game, and bro, it was on another planet. I was, it was excellent. Ezra Mam turned it on. It was that I think that was one of the biggest turning points.
Yep.
The other big, I just felt, bro, as soon as we beat Melbourne was it in Melbourne the last game?
The last game, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
That was in
Brisbane.
Suncorp.
Oh,
But
it was
as soon
Suncorp,
as soon as
they've
we
beaten
got
us in Suncorp for the last 20 years.
The last 15 regular season matchups we had lost.
and we just looked so dominant that game. As soon as we won that game, I just thought we're winning the comp. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it because you don't want to do these things, but we beat Melbourne in that game, and you just think we're on.
Yeah.
By the way, Madge's influence there is, I think the whole team and the whole season could have gone down the drain with Shibasaki rocking up to training drunk, him getting dropped.
Yeah.
That was before that Storm game.
Yeah.
We had every reason to get pumped in that game. We had a few players out too, and we still beat them.
Walsh
And we
was
dominated.
unreal that game too.
We dominated. Yeah.
Walters.
He was unreal from, Billy Walters. What a player.
Mate, incredible.
Speaking of the Dogs game where we came back, not the one where we pumped you guys from the beginning.
Yep.
Fun fact, the Broncos were only held scoreless twice in the first half all year. And they were down double figures both times, and they won both of those games.
Yeah.
So Penrith was the other one.
Semi,
Yeah.
We were getting pumped at half on 0 points. And I don't know, like, that's where, like, I love Kevvie, but I don't think we come back under Kevvie. I think Kevvie, to your point, his roster construction and his people personness, way better than Madge. But in terms of you've been given a supercar, go drive it and win the race, I feel like Madge is one of the greatest
He
we've
is.
ever seen with that.
He is.
Which is why I think the Tigers experiment was kind of terrible because
Yeah.
he just doesn't know how to do it. But like,
No, but,
people say it's easy to win with a good team. It's not always. There's so many stacked rosters that underachieve. I feel like Madge has always had that ability to get the best out of the elite players or the good players. And like, people don't necessarily like his approach at first, but it's the most effective.
Yeah.
And like, our board has sucked. Like, to Jake's point, he left out one of the brilliant coaches we hired, Ivan Henjak, once upon a time. Like, we have hired some absolute spastics, which is why
I'm pretty sure
we liked
Henjak was
Walters.
just after Bennett,
Yeah.
And then Griffin
And then
after.
Griffin.
Griffin.
Yeah. So like, we went on a streak of just what are we doing? So to
By the way,
bring
that was 17 years ago.
to bring back one of Brisbane's favorite sons in Kevvie, like, that's why we all felt a certain way when he got, sacked. As a coach of a sport, like, I understand though, when you kind of lose the locker room or they're not really listening to you, like, sometimes it is time to move on, unfortunately. Would they have responded to Kevvie this year how they did with Madge? Probably
knows?
not. But like, I've had the fortune also of watching my NBA team win the NBA championship last year.
Yep.
And 2 years before we won it, we went to the grand final and we lost. And we parted ways with one of the hearts and souls of the team, Marcus Smart. And we were all so upset about it, but we all understood, you know what? We wish he was a part of it, but it probably did make us better or give us a better chance to win. And we won without him. And it was kind of tough to watch. And it's the same feeling with Kevvie.
Yeah.
Like, we would have loved him to have been part of it or us to have won with him. But I feel like at the end of the day, it was kind of necessary, even though, to Emil's point, like, he built this house like that we live in technically. But to actually achieve that result, like, yes, he does a much better job than Madge at bringing in the staff, bringing in the players, and creating the roster, which I'm not sure Madge can do that. But Madge in
Madge
big
does better,
games, I think, is better.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. How the roster goes from
Can I
there.
say that it's so hard to argue that point as well, because we got to remember these guys were kids 2 years ago
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And we were versing, in my opinion, the strongest Panthers team out of all the
Oh, but I
Panthers
think we were in better form. Like we weren't.
we were better defensively. Can I say, you know, this hard edge that we're talking about with Madge? We conceded 120 less points 2 years ago than we did this year.
It's true.
We did not have as many halftime leads against us as we did this year as well. Like compared to 2 years ago. as
Do
we
me
did
a
this
favor,
year.
check our second half defense stats this year compared to the year we went to the final.
Oh yeah, it'd
Because
be
in
better.
second halves, we were like,
Bro, we were
in
better.
clutch moments, we were under.
We
and
would
like,
be the other way around 2 years ago.
but like
would
we were
capitulate in the second half
underdogs
every time.
in every single game in the finals.
yeah.
We were underdogs.
Yeah.
I think 2 years ago there was more of an expectation like these guys can win it all.
Yeah.
and we probably
Correct.
should have won it all.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we fell short. And to your point, like we were younger, we were inexperienced. Like
Yeah.
that plays a big part. But like the Panthers were unreal that game, especially Cleary in that second half, where like I was watching, like we were all at the game, obviously in the grand final. The amount of times Melbourne would spread the ball, run block plays, run a lot of their shapes in the second half, and like you could see it coming that we were comfortably numbered up. It was just like, how? We even had one of our second rowers playing in the centers for like 15, 20 minutes in the second half because we had a HIA. And usually that's a recipe to get burnt on the edge, especially a team like Melbourne, because they did it in the first half.
Yeah.
And like you'd see Pappy sweeping around the back. You'd see them
Yeah.
try to look inside. You'd see them play the front man, whether it's Katoa or whoever it is, or go out the back. And like for some reason, we just
We were there.
read it every single time, which I haven't seen us do. Like it was very impressive, especially against a team like the Storm in a big game. Like I was really, really impressed. And I don't know where it's come from because a lot of times, like we would give up points in those situations to keep them scoreless in the second half. I thought was crazy, especially when they started getting desperate and they knew they needed to make something happen. Like they started getting real desperate, and it looked like they just didn't know how to score, and they couldn't. And like even right at the end, that last break they made, like I don't know how Walsh played the ball and Pappenhausen. People are saying that Paps should have probably run wider, so Walsh couldn't get to him, but then Walsh can play the pass and just knock it down, and it's a scrum. We get to set our defense. Like the way that happens is unreal.
But when you can I say it looks unreal in that moment, but when you watch the replay, bro, we've got 4 defenders there.
Ezra Mam.
Yeah, they're all getting
Mam's
back.
there, Karapani's there. You got Haas running in the back. He's a freak
Yeah,
himself.
Yeah.
So it was pretty amazing. But it's almost like they practiced that. There is no way. There is no way that was
preseason-
accidental. Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Like that's where those efforts come in, where you have nothing in the tank,
Yeah.
but you've been pumped in preseason, and yeah, they didn't like it, and they were complaining, but oh, it's tough. But like, that's what you need to win these big games.
Can I also say I actually think our squad 2 years ago was better than this year.
I actually don't.
When you have Flegler, Farnworth,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Capewell.
Herbie was unreal.
What was our weakness this year? Our second rowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We had Capewell. Capewell was in good form back then
Yeah,
too.
it was.
I mean, back then,
Herbie's the best centre
back
in the
then
world.
we
in my
even
opinion.
had Carrigan not as a prop,
Yeah, correct.
like he was
Bro,
as a lock.
Palacia was making 150 meters off the bench back then. Like
Yeah.
we had a good team.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had a really good team back then. So we lost a few of them. That's why I actually didn't think with this current lineup we could win the comp. I did think that we could make the top 4 as long as we stayed healthy.
yeah.
Same as what I believed last year, right?
Yeah.
We could make the top 4 as long as we stayed healthy. But the way we finished that season was unreal.
Yeah.
Man, I was at that Canberra game. I
Yeah.
was so depressed. When Walsh got sin bin, I was like, man, this is it. We're done. When he came back, and then I still got depressed again because I thought we lost the game like 2 times.
Yeah.
And then we won.
Yeah.
But I could not celebrate, even that grand final, I could not celebrate anything until Jordan Ricky caught that ball. And knowing Jordan Ricky,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to butcher something. But lucky he just held the ball and just went straight to the ground and we won. But yeah, even then, it was just so surreal. Like that Panthers win when we were at the Panthers. Jacob and I went up to Queensland for the Panthers
Remember
semi.
that,
How
yeah.
good was that?
Bro,
Like,
unreal. The whole trip was unreal. We'll come back to it, but can I ask as well? I'm in the host chair, so I'm doing
please,
that.
of course.
What was your favorite game of the season? Because the grand final's on another planet. We'll get to that maybe at the end. But there was so many good games, so many good Broncos games. I just think, bro, that Canberra game. Selfishly, the Penrith game was mad because we were there and it was a good experience. But that Canberra game, I call it the Trinitarian game because there was 3 endings to the game.
Yeah.
It was
the best game I've ever seen.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Alternate endings.
That is easily in my. We've all watched rugby league since we were kids. I have never seen a game to that level in my life. That is hands down, sweeping declaration. That is the best game of football that has ever been played. In a final series to get into a prelim, the first versus 4, like it's the blockbuster game, the Broncos versus Canberra, the 90s teams. To see that many endings, the sin bins, bro, it was unbelievable. The penalty for the bro, it was ridiculous. When does that happen?
No, it's true. Like, it even tops the
Former Broncos, Zach Hosking, by the way.
Yes.
Oh,
Gave
really?
that penalty. Yeah.
There you go.
Broncos.
Gave that penalty away against Walsh.
On that, like we talk about, like you're saying, it's the greatest game of rugby league I've watched. Like for many years, everyone talked about one of the best games I'd seen was the Roosters Tigers game.
Yeah,
that went in like 99 minutes of football and everything else. That doesn't compare to what was witnessed that day at GIO Stadium. That was
not even close.
Incredible.
Yeah,
I think that would be my favorite. That or the Penrith game, because it's just those 2 games really cemented what was about for the Bronx.
Emil, can you elaborate? So we went to Brisbane to watch that game. We actually stayed there for a night or 2. I can't remember. It's all been a blur since then.
Yeah.
I can't remember the night.
Since the Panthers,
Can you, Emil? Can you? What did we see on the Friday night? We went to a
No, it was the
beautiful.
Saturday. So the game. What day was the game?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So on the Saturday night, we're out for dinner in Fortitude Valley. It's 10:30 at night, by the way, and half the Panthers players were there. Having dinner at 10:30 at night in the middle of like a nightclub district, like not nightclub district, but it's the nightlife.
Yeah, in
Fortitude
Valley,
Valley,
it's
It's the
restaurants.
restaurants, it's the
The
restaurants
valley,
and stuff.
the valley.
But you walk out of there, mate, and it is like they would have had 50 people talk to them for sure. And we're just sitting there thinking, what the heck are the Panthers doing out at this time? Like, no, not that they weren't doing anything. They weren't drinking. They weren't doing anything. They were just sitting there having dinner.
More the fact that
But
was
we were
just at
having a
10:30 at
laugh.
night.
We were having a laugh about it. Like,
We were gonna order them drinks.
yeah.
Let's just send them
I
drinks.
asked
to
them
the
to put
table.
extra wine in their steak, but
By the way, bro, I was walking to the bathroom and I'm just walking by and I seen a bunch of young kids, bro. I'm like, what are these young kids doing? It's not a cheap restaurant. What are these young kids doing here? I walked back to my seat and I was talking to the boys and they're like, oh, did you see the Penrith players? I'm like, Penrith players, bro, they look like kids. The Blaze Talangi. Bro,
Yeah, it looks like
by
a
the way,
baby.
Talangi was the one who had to pay the bill.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
think he was the youngest one, so he covered the bill.
Yeah.
What a machine.
And they just look like kids. I couldn't believe the young crop that Penrith have coming along is it's on another planet. So anyway, we see him there and we're like, bro, is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah.
We have a good night out in Fortitude Valley. I'll sort of, can I keep going?
Of course,
through
please.
some of the story?
Absolutely.
So we go through we have a night out, and anyway, we're walking past a bar, and we see a Seki outside one of the bars or whatever, and she's asking us to come into her establishment or whatever. We're like, oh, we had a laugh with her. We played some scissors, paper, rock with her or whatever. Anyway, she goes, what are you guys doing tomorrow? We're like, we're actually going to the game. We're here from Sydney. We're going to the game. She goes, oh, I'm actually working at the Caxton tomorrow. If you get a chance, come say hi. We go, yeah, no worries. So we do the Caxton State thing before the game. We're hopping a few of the places. And then after the game, what's the right thing to do in Brisbane after the Broncos win? You go to the Caxton, right? Except the Caxton line was from the Caxton to Suncorp Stadium.
About 400 metres.
Oh,
It was ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
More than that.
I've gone to Origin a million times there. I've never seen the line at Caxton this crazy.
wow.
So we go, bro, there's no way. We'll just go to the place across the road. So we're walking up from the Caxton and lo and behold, the same chick from the night before.
I start playing scissors paper rock with her again.
No way.
And I go, if I win, let us in. And she just goes, get in. Bro.
So, bro, we have a mad night.
And it
Then
was better because our flight was delayed too.
it gets better. Our flight's delayed. So anyway, we have a few drinks, whatever. We have a good night. Then we go back on the Uber to the airport. We're going into the lounge. Who do we see?
No way.
The Panthers players.
Oh,
Look at that selfie with Dylan
yeah,
Edwards.
that's right, yeah. We're going to get that up. We figure out to
the
get
guy
that up.
just looked at me and he could tell I was going to feed him something. And I just go, oh, unlucky, bro. You've had a few good years. And he's like, oh, thanks, mate. But yeah,
Wild.
it was,
You're
yeah.
soft, bro. You're
Yeah,
soft.
You should have ripped him,
I should have
bro.
ripped him.
The one
But he's a
opportunity,
nice
yeah.
bloke. He's a nice bloke.
Edwards
if,
is
it
a
was,
nice
if it was To'o or someone else,
Oh,
I
yeah,
would have fed him for sure.
you'd have field day.
But yeah, if Luai was there, oh man.
Oh,
yeah,
he
if
would've
he was
copped
still a
me too.
Panther and he was there,
Oh, yeah.
it would have been the best to feed.
Would have been on the news. You would have punched
Yeah.
on. 100%. 100% you would have punched on. There's no question about it.
You know what's funny? I hate him on the footy field, but he is me. He's exactly like me, bro.
Yeah.
He plays like he's a little grub, like, but
Big
he's
smart
good.
aleck, yeah. I want to come back to the Broncos briefly actually not really briefly, I don't care, I'll take 3 hours. But I want to talk about the recruitment. Because with the recruitment for the Broncos, and then I want to talk about some of the tough selection calls that Madge had to make throughout the year. Because let's say Mam doesn't have the off-field incident that he has. You know, you're trying to fit Mam, Reynolds, and Hunt into a halves pairing. Obviously, the versatility of Hunt being able to shift in at 9, but you've also had like 3 hookers or 4 hookers that you could choose from.
And some games
We chose them
played,
all.
Yeah, and some games we played all of them.
Yeah, you played all of them. You made
Hang
it
on,
work.
there was one game.
We had 4.
This is how bad the Broncos were going at one point.
Yeah.
We had Pakes,
Yep.
Walters, and Smoothie, right? 2 of them were on the bench. And in that game, our hookers were all going so bad that they moved Ben Hunt to hooker.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That's how bad we were going at one point.
And it's crazy. And like amongst the year as well, there was a lot of like tough calls that were made. You know, Marty Tapau getting sacked for liking the Instagram post, which is, to me, is still the most ridiculous thing.
Can we clarify? My guy doesn't get sacked for the Instagram post. Just like that's a good headline, it's a good hook and whatnot. But there has to be a lead up of things that are going wrong for him to get. So I watched the podcast. He
did with Chad Townsend.
His
Yeah.
performance for one.
Yeah. So number
Bro,
he was
hang
good
on, hang
performance.
on.
No. He was
bro,
good at his
he
performance.
was
He was
one of
performing
our
well.
best forwards in
Yes.
the off-season, in the preseason.
Yeah.
In the trials, he was making more meters than any forward. He didn't get a crack when it came to first grade.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right? And there was some players there that shouldn't have had a crack over him. And I reckon that's where he would have turned and been
Yeah.
like, I'm clearly not being rewarded for my performance.
Yeah.
Which could have bred a poor attitude. I don't know. All I've heard is Marty Tapau's an amazing trainer, and he got
He
recruited
seems
to
like
that.
a good dude.
Yeah, he seems
he's a great
He
dude.
got recruited to that team because of his leadership skills
Yeah.
off the field.
That's
too.
right, yeah.
In the training paddock as well. So, especially with the young Polynesian fellas, like,
Yeah.
so I wonder what happened. Like, to your point, there must have been
I think there was a
maybe
build
some
up
attitude or something.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
And that was a scapegoat reason.
Of course.
They throw that
Yes.
reason in and whatever, but they've performance managed my guy
Yeah.
for a while, and then it's so they were jumped on. They must
They
have
waited on
jumped
something,
on
yeah.
the opportunity.
And they go, oh, this is the bread and butter. This is what
Yeah.
we're going to use it for, which I understand.
So yeah,
I like a lot of the like tougher section calls I made throughout the year was Copper getting dropped.
yeah, it's huge.
That I remember, Emil, you were pretty vocal about it.
Yeah, because so Cobbo had probably 1.5 poor games, but the rest of our team was pretty poor. In those first 5 rounds, Cobbo was our best back.
Agreed.
By far. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, people are forgetting. Bro, people were saying this guy's going to get $1 million contract going somewhere else. Like, it's nuts. He's stuck behind Reece Walsh, blah, blah. Bro, now the poor guy's on a crappy 1-year contract with the Dolphins.
Yeah. Hoping
Like,
he can come back to Brisbane in 27.
Yeah, which, who knows if he might. He probably won't. He'll
Yeah,
ask too much
I don't think he
money,
will
but-
either.
But yeah, it's just an interesting one. Like, I wasn't. It's not that I was against it. I was just against him being dropped and others being kept.
Yep.
And my issue with that was, in my opinion, I thought it was heading down the same road as what Madge did with the Tigers. I don't know if you remember, man. Luke Brooks played like 100 games in a row with under Madge. He was shocking in a lot of games.
Yep.
Like, I know he cops it a lot, but he cops it a lot for a reason. Madge didn't drop him. And we had the same, like, that's why the Tigers got worse and worse and worse. The wrong players were getting dropped. The right players were getting, the right players were getting dropped, whatever.
Yeah. The wrong players were getting elevated to
the
big
wrong players were
positions.
getting elevated, which was what Seabold did as well, by the way, for
Yeah.
the Broncos. It always goes down bad with the rest of the team. But I was really concerned that would be the path. The right path, the time I thought Madge was really good, and I also think that it also took Mariner to another level.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was putting Shibasaki at center. So from round 1, which is really good, it sent a message. But then who else was there? There was another player in
Carapan, Jesse Arthurs.
Jesse Arthur's
Yeah.
getting dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse Arthur's
Huge
has been
call.
on that wing for 2 or 3 years now. people would have thought straight away. And I was saying all year, Jesse Arthurs was poor. In my opinion, Arthur should have been dropped before Cobbo, by the way. Well before Cobbo. Cobbo was having a crack. So for me, that was crazy. So he drew the line there and said, that's it. Like, you know, we're not taking poor performances, no matter what you are to the culture of this team, because Jesse Arthurs is one of the cool guys, he's in the cool group. So him getting dropped and not coming back was just nuts.
Yeah.
I think it's game performance, but like a lot of off-field stuff, like Cobbo was halfway out the door as well. I think that's a distraction. Like, why are we investing in this guy if he's not going to be around? Arthur's, I don't think he's a terrible trainer or a terrible dude, but like the likes of Karapani and Mariner, they've come in and done exactly what they need to do. And like, it's shown, like their improvement, their development this year, it's shown.
Yeah.
And like you talk about our team 2 years ago and you talk about the recruitment. What made us so good years ago when Emil says we had a better team? Our bench was better than half the team's starting teams.
Yeah.
So like if you
Like
were
we're
in
on
an
the bench
arm
as
wrestle
well.
with
Yeah.
us, once our benches come on, you're finished. Like we had Ricky off the bench. We had Flegler who had hit peak form and was starting to pretty much make Origin off the bench.
Yeah.
Like those two guys, like you were talking about Palacia even, like we had guys where because Capewell is starting and because we had Carrigan not as a front row forward, he's like a back rower as well. Like those two are great. And then you look at Ricky and Flegler and some of these other guys, like you can put them wherever we need. Like it just was 80 minutes of you're going to go up against a very good forward pack and they have decent halves and a great fullback because Walsh was still good, not this level, but like the depth we had was unreal. So even if we had injuries or whatever, we were always fielding the 17 where at least 16 of them were like fantastic first grade starting level players.
Yeah.
And we don't have that this year as much. Like our depth, because we lost Flegler, we lost Capewell, we lost Farnworth, like we didn't have the depth to cop those injuries. And I think we really saw it last year. We copped a few injuries and suddenly like these guys that were elite off the bench, they have to start and play huge minutes. And then the guys off the bench were like, just who are these guys? Like they're still coming through. They don't have that much of an impact in the game when they come on. And now it's like, bro, Haas, we need him back on. He's been on the bench for 3 seconds. Like he's finally getting a breather. It's like, no, we need him to play 80. Like I feel like towards the back end of the season, like, yeah, Haas was huge, but like we didn't need that as much.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, we were so deep and it's actually like a shame we didn't win, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like, I agree. Like, I think our squad back then was better, even though it was younger, it was deeper. But this year, they've just, I don't know, they've grown in experience and understanding as well as being able to perform in big games. And it's fantastic to see. Like, I don't know if we can replicate it exactly the way we did, but I also don't think we'll be just trying to sneak in because now we actually have established ourselves to the point where it's like, okay, we know who we are. We know what our identity is. We know how to get the job done. I'm not saying like, oh, we're going back to back to back. I'm not saying that. But like a lot of this year, like maybe 6-7 rounds left, we were teetering on the 7-8 spot.
Yeah.
Because Penrith was still coming up from outside the 8 and they were like overtaking us. The Warriors were ahead. And then like Manly, until they started collapsing, they were in the mix. And it was like, man, if we lose a few games here, we're like just scraping into the 8. Then suddenly we went on a run and it's like, man, if the Warriors suck enough, we could steal 4th. But like Penrith are also trying to get 4th and then they rested their players a few weeks out, which whatever.
Yeah. Which I thought was really smart at the time.
I still think it was smart.
Yeah, it's very smart.
I think they looked really fresh. I think they still had a good game against us.
Yeah.
They just got outperformed.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
like we came from the depths of, are we going to get there to, okay, well, we made it. Now what's going to happen? Whereas 2 years ago, it was just like, yeah, we're going to be there.
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
going to
correct.
win it or not?
Absolutely,
so for
yeah.
next year, I feel
Yeah.
like, there's going to be a target on us. But because we've been able to find a way to come together and win games, I don't think we'll be coming from the, we're 7, 8, 9. Like, are we going to make the 8? Like, I think we're locks for the 8. I don't know about top 4 because
I think top
who
4.
knows
Yeah.
with injuries and stuff what will happen. But
No, but we so a lot of people when we didn't make the top 4 last year or top 8 or what would become 12th last
11,
year.
12.
Yeah.
probably like
We-
50th.
Yeah, whatever. We were terrible, right? We used the justification that there was all these injuries, blah blah blah. So we can't sit there and estimate or think, we might have injuries next year. On the current squad that we have, if it's injury free, we're top 4. We're top
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
We're top 2.
Yeah.
But can I also say, God, this team is 10 times better without Reynolds at halfback.
And that was the point I wanted to bring up. We were talking about recruiting and everything else because I have something for you, and I've waited a few days or maybe 2 days to bring this to your attention. Usually I chuck it up on our NRL chat, but I wanted to wait and get a fresh feedback. Also, come back to WhatsApp. I'm losing my mind that you're on Signal. Anyway, separate time, separate conversation, whatever.
Yeah.
But I heard Reynolds recently say he wants to play beyond next season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it won't happen. I know it won't happen,
it won't,
and there's no chance it will happen because
I don't know
Pezza,
about that, bro.
well, Pezza signed for 27.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to talk about that a bit later. But my question to you is, there's been comments made about Reynolds, like he's made of paper mache, he's very injury prone and everything else. They're very funny comments, right? But if he was to play in 27, I think it's a wrong call.
It won't be for the Broncos.
I don't think it'll be anywhere.
He won't play.
I don't
I
know.
can guarantee that.
Yeah, I'll
No,
guarantee
no,
he won't
but
play either.
Can we put a bet on this? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that he's a Bronco in 27.
As a coach or as a player?
As a
No.
Well,
As a player.
because
Mate,
he wants to go into
He's got
coaching.
to physically
Yeah.
get
Zero chance.
through
As a player.
another
As a
year,
player.
a year older.
Should we
There's
do
no
$100
guarantee.
yeah, I've still got the $100 I won.
Yeah, double.
No,
Adam Reynolds will not be playing rugby league in 2 years' time.
Yeah,
I don't know about. Hang on.
He couldn't even finish the grand final, bro.
No, he had the calf injury coming in. So okay, can we make
But
a
he's
bet?
always injured. That's
Can we
the
make a
problem.
bet?
Yeah.
Do you think he's not going to play NRL?
I don't think he'll play in a role in 27, no.
I think play rugby.
I think it's 50-50, bro.
You think it's 50-50?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's less because of the fact that Pezzo is now signed for 27 at the Broncos.
I think
There might be a team that'll
He's-
throw some money at him.
Renault's the leader.
No, Reno will not go to any
No,
other.
he won't go. He's
Yeah,
based.
He's a Brisbane.
the family's there.
Yeah, based off his book, he's not leaving Brisbane.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can I say, boys, I'm going to the book signing on either Wednesday or Thursday.
Actually,
which I'm so excited for. Yeah.
That's mad.
I
Remember that time we went to Darren Lockyer? Darren Lockyer's book signing? Were you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
He
when he
signed
signed
it,
my... I did my ACL back then. I had the knee brace on. He signed my knee brace.
I actually, funny you mentioned that. I have a photo of Jake and I maybe 14, 15 years ago with Darren Lockyer at ANZ just after a random game. He was commentating for Channel 9 or Fox or
I
whatever.
remember that.
And the whole stadium cleared out. And
Good Friday.
mate, he made you look pretty big. Lockyer's not a very big fella.
No, not at all.
But somewhere I've got that photo or photos. And then I've also got photos with Emil,
mate.
also about 15 years ago with the old school
Yes.
gun Bronco teams.
Yeah.
When they used to come and have breakfast with people here in Manly. So,
remember
I mean,
that,
it runs deep.
Good
Like,
old days,
we've been
yeah.
waiting a long time to see our
19
team
years,
win.
Yeah.
I know.
We've been doing a lot of things, going to a lot of games and events to actually see us finally get there. Especially after 2 years ago being so close. Like, it's just unreal. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be great to do it again. It must be nice to be a Panthers fan to watch your team do it every year.
Yeah.
But like,
Yep,
it's been a
years,
long
nuts.
time coming. So like, as much as I love Kevvie, like I got to thank Madge. Like,
Yeah,
Of course.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
You pay where it's
But
due.
can I say,
Yeah.
I refuse to thank Darren Lockyer on the board.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No, that's fair.
what about Ben Eichen fix the Broncos?
Bro, Ben Eichen and Kevin Walters rebuilt that entire...
Yeah, 100%.
That entire
100%. Ben Eiken's
about
influence is
Bruno
huge.
No, Bruno
Bruno
Cullen.
Cullen, bro.
Bruno Cullen.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Bro, if
But
he didn't get
was-
rid of Bennett multiple
yeah.
times, we wouldn't be here.
That's right. Wayne Bennett has a full. Wayne Bennett.
Maybe the Bennett
Bennett's full-
sackings are a blessing in disguise, guys. You just,
We could have won 7 premierships by now, but still.
but you only won one
Oh, by
in
the
10
way,
years.
guess who the player of the year was before Payne Haas has won the last 6?
Darren Lockyer, Carmichael Hunt.
No.
Bro, the last 6. They retired 15 years ago.
Oh, Pedro Simmons Eva.
I'm still living in the
Potentially
past.
Alex Glenn.
No,
Justin Hodges.
come on, boys. No, he was
Darius
not
Wait,
right.
how
Boyd?
many years ago?
6 years ago.
Has Haas won it for 6 years?
What year? What,
Yeah.
2019.
But since he came into NRL, he's won it.
19, I think it was.
18, 19. Who's
Come on,
around?
boys.
Darbs was. By the way, can I read?
Someone you won't expect.
Can I read the Wooden Spoon Brisbane Broncos
Yeah.
team,
Do you
Yes.
want to hear?
Hang on, who was our coach?
Yes, I
Was
wanna
it
know.
Seabold?
bro?
No, it was Bennett.
Who?
Oh,
Milford?
Bennett.
It was Milford.
Oh, I love Milford, bro. I love Milford.
We
so
like
much.
our
Milford,
Islanders,
bro.
don't we?
Yeah,
What a
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I love
Hey,
Milford.
but what about when he was 0 of 3 on the try line with the Jets?
But Milford
Shout
actually.
out to Battery Aziz
Yes,
Abud.
yes. Good old Bud, who'll never watch it, but deep down he will. On Milford actually got Queensland Cup 5th of the year.
That's
this year.
right.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, because he's
Listen,
on
at
another
one
planet.
point, by the way, he was playing for South Logan Magpies,
Yeah.
who are the feeder club for the
for
Brisbane
Broncos.
Broncos.
Yes.
At one point, when Mam was out and Reynolds were out,
There was
I
talk.
thought there was
No
talk.
way. There was
of
talk.
a Hunt and Milford reunion,
Mate, if they, oh,
bro. That would have been unreal.
That would've been
One
mad.
game, I
At
would've
least
loved
for
that,
one
actually.
game.
yeah, like a bit of a throwback, cheeky throwback.
Run it back.
So are we
I would've
saying
loved
there's
that.
more chance Milford plays a game
No.
than Reynolds plays
In 2
in
years?
2027?
He's like 5 years younger than him, bro. Milford's not old.
Milford's 31.
Yeah.
He's young.
So
Yeah.
we're saying there's more chance.
He's got a
Milford
run in,
plays?
bro.
Yeah, yeah. And he's played like over 200 games, and
He's like 20 years old. Yeah,
Milford
21
was one
years
of
old.
Jake's favourite players.
Same.
Man,
Bro,
Bro,
let me tell you, the last person to make me feel like Walsh has made me feel was that
Milford.
2015 Milford Hunt
combo.
That was
Oh
some of the
my
best.
gosh.
That was one of the best Broncos seasons. That 2015. The two that got away anyway. We should have won both 2015, 23. But
Yeah.
they were unreal. I had a question to ask. And it's completely.
Why are you
escaped
thinking
me.
about that question?
Yes.
I do want to talk about the grand final
Yes.
because I want to say this as a passionate Dogs fan. I have never celebrated any team the way I celebrated the Broncos winning that comp. There is a video many people have seen. I was hitting the bin at the campsite. For context, we were at a church young adults retreat. Watched the game there. Me, a couple of the kids, a couple of the older guys smashing the bin, singing the Broncos theme song. I can't explain the joy that overcame me. All three of you went to the game. I've heard from different people the experience like it was unlike any other. In the lead up to, I think it was the lead up to the semi, you were in the Broncos promo video. One of my
It
favorite
was so
photo of
good.
you.
Yeah,
so great.
so good.
I want to talk about the grand final, but tell me about the atmosphere. Tell me about the energy. Tell me about the stress. I want to know everything because everyone has said to me that amongst a lot of the games that they've gone to, 2025 grand final was one of the best games they've ever been to ever. Does that resonate with you guys as well? Do you feel the same way?
Can I just say, grand final days, if you haven't been to one, are one of the best days of the year.
Yeah.
They're one of the most stressful days if your team's in it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
So stressful.
get in there, you got to go early. So I go for lunch. We have lunch with the family at like close to the stadium and whatnot, just to absorb the day because it only happens once every now and then. So if your team ever makes grand final, just get out there, absorb the day, go early. From there, Emil, what do you think of the game?
Mate, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was impressed how quickly we got on the scoreboard. Like I think it was our first
We
set.
nearly didn't.
First set
Yeah.
in attack, right? Yeah, bro.
Nearly,
man.
that-
I was
Just
on that dead
flirting
ball.
with that.
I don't know
Flirting
what
with
he
that
was
dead
doing.
ball line.
Yeah.
Absolute
Crazy.
nutcase.
On a grand final, yeah.
He was
But,
already in kickable position, and there were defenders. Like if there's no defenders coming, all right. But like, yeah,
But bro, it was a hot day. It was 35 degrees.
Yeah.
Right.
Scorched
Our
hot.
forwards were doing nothing. Payne Haas made, I think, 30 meters in his first stint in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And he got taken off. The crowd was, I would say, like 90% Broncos.
Oh yeah,
It was almost like even the neutral,
Yeah,
which I'm
yeah.
very surprised because most neutral supporters hate us.
Yeah.
But I think they hate the Storm and the Panthers more.
They hate Storm so much.
Yeah, they do. So I think even the neutral crowd was going for the Broncos. Like the Storm crowd was really small, to be honest.
yeah.
The atmosphere was good. I don't think it was anywhere near as good as Suncorp.
Nah, that Suncorp,
Suncorp, bro, people, I could not believe. We stayed at the ground at Suncorp 20 minutes after the game, and there was
Yeah.
people still chanting and cheering.
That's mad.
I've been to Origin no less than 10 times in Suncorp. I've never experienced anything like what we experienced at Suncorp.
Yeah.
It felt like we won the grand final.
Honestly, when
That-
Karapani went over,
That
and-
felt
Yeah.
more like we
Oh,
won the
yeah.
grand final than the actual grand final.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the atmosphere was still unreal. Like we went to the pub after, we were just dancing around and
Bro,
That's
had the best
line.
time with all the supporters, bro.
Yeah.
I will say I'm a bit disappointed that the Broncos organisation
yeah.
didn't organise like a reception centre or something, like
Yeah.
a RSL hall or something like that for all the
they
fans.
went to the Star and met their fans, which I didn't know about until way after.
Sydney.
Because they're
Yeah, I had
sponsored
no
by the
idea.
Star.
No,
There
they
you go.
didn't.
I don't think they
No,
did.
they
either.
didn't meet their fans, bro. They had
They
a
went
family and
backstage
friends.
with family.
Yeah, they had their own separate thing
Yeah.
for
I
family
don't
and
know.
friends.
My friends got photos and videos with them, and I was real
No
upset
way.
that I missed out. But
So we this is by the way, this is I'm gonna is this the camera? Can I talk to this? This is the problem, by the way, with Sydney that we need to fix. Whoever's responsible for this, we need to fix it. Okay. We go outside of the stadium. It's a grand final, the biggest day of the calendar year for that stadium. It's the most watched grand final ever in history, and it's the biggest sporting event in Australian, like in our calendar that year. We go outside. There's a fantastic bar. There's food vendors. Everyone's streaming outside of the stadium. 80,000 fans eating, drinking, having a great time. We're having a great time. We're singing, dancing. The food vendors are making money. The economy in that little section is booming. Everyone's happy. It's everyone's friendly, peaceful. Everyone's on the same page. At 11:30, they shut one of the bars down. At 11:45, both bars are shut down, and it's time to go home. 11:45 p.m., most European countries start partying at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We're at 11:45 and we're shutting our city down. Then obviously it's because their liquor license isn't, like, can't get them past that, which no problem. Why? Because there's residential towers outside of the stadium. Who allowed residential towers outside the biggest stadium we have in New South Wales?
wild, yeah.
Who designs a city like that? Who designs the Olympic Park like that? It was so frustrating that the biggest sporting event ended at 11:45 p.m. and people were lining up to pay for drinks, food, everything.
Couldn't
The
do
economy was moving, and we talk about being in a recession. Maybe that's why. Maybe because we're cancelling and shutting down our whole bloody city at 11:45 p.m. on one of the biggest nights. So, was it the best night? Was it mad? We had the best time. It was. I'll never forget the day. But I don't know what the hell needs to happen for, like, we need to think about these events and stimulating the whole city around these events. Like they do a Magic Round, bro, in Brisbane.
Yeah. Magic Round's incredible.
Is there any chance Caxton's closing at 11:45
No,
p.m.?
no chance. People are lining up like
Bro,
that.
there's
lines
the
are talking
bloke
about.
with the guitar and playing it with his microphone.
Doesn't miss a beat.
Outside the
Yeah.
Caxton in the house, bro. He's got there's a house.
Yeah.
Between the Caxton. Yeah, you've
Yes,
seen
no,
it. You
I've
guys
seen
have
it.
been
Yeah,
there.
we've been.
There's that bloke that's
He's
just
the best.
constantly on the mic. Yeah, he's just enjoying it.
It's unreal.
In terms of atmosphere, like for myself, I was fortunate to be in the Broncos fan section.
Yeah.
There was like
that would have
3
been
Melbourne
bro. That would be
fans,
real good. Yeah.
and they had a lot to say when they got up.
Oh, the
And,
Melbourne fans, out of control.
mate, toilet water this, well, he went real quiet about 20 minutes later when we looked at him.
Yeah.
That was fantastic in terms of atmosphere. I was a little bit PTSD. The other grand final I had been to was the one against the Cowboys a while ago, where we lost. That atmosphere was insane because everybody respected each other, unlike the Melbourne fans. Like the Cowboys and Broncos fans, like, yes, they don't want to lose, but like they actually had a respect for each other because they're so passionate. But like most of them are all Queenslanders. Like everyone kind of got along. And like when the Cowboys went over right at the end of regulation, like the whole stadium just went into meltdown. Which didn't really happen in our game, but it was still an unreal atmosphere. And being around other Broncos fans was mad because in Sydney, it's rare for us to get that. Like you're
that's
used
right.
to being
that's
like
true.
the away team.
Yeah.
You're used to being like the antagonist. Like everyone is like the home fan, and you're like, we're opposite you. Like it was kind of cool to be a part of that without being in Suncorp because Suncorp's mad.
Can I say my only disappointment of the whole final series was when we were sitting at Suncorp and that stupid woman sitting in front of us, the Panthers supporter, she was screaming every 2 seconds, woo, woo, every 2 seconds for 77 minutes, bro. And at the 77th minute, we score, right? This is before Reynolds kicks. She starts vaping. The security guard, he looks at me, he goes, get her out. I go, no, keep her in. I go, keep her in. I wanted her to stay because I wanted to feed her, bro. She was feeding us for 77 minutes of that game. I hope she finds us. I hope you find us on YouTube.
That was the best.
But,
Crazy.
Yeah, she got kicked out. I was devastated. She didn't see the kick.
Yeah.
She didn't
No
see the
way.
Reynolds-
You're
Yeah, she
in.
got kicked
You didn't
out.
get to woo.
No.
Oh,
Spewing.
No, bro.
Yeah, I would've chewed your ear
At
off,
one
bro.
point, I'm kicking her chair. I was so angry, bro. Like,
I would have chewed it
I
off.
was
but-
so devastated. But anyway.
But from the season, like kind of sort of trying to wrap it up here, but with the season, so many players were so much better for it. I think one of the greatest redemption stories is Shibasaki.
Oh, bro.
From train and trial, as that's the lowest point of the contract that you can get, 80K, he made more money playing Origin and then playing for Australia, like that is representing Australia now. The season he had was incredible to then win a grand final, to then to play Origin, win a series, then to play a grand final, win a grand final, now to play for Australia, most likely win for Australia the Ashes series that's currently taking place. Mate, what a resurgence, what a year.
It doesn't get any better.
Without a doubt. But how dumb are we as
Yeah,
a club?
yeah.
The guy was killing it in the first 10 rounds.
How don't you re-sign him?
We literally could have signed him on for an extra year for 120 grand and he would have taken it.
Yeah, and how many
We
players...
could have made it a club option as well.
Yep.
The guy was in Queensland Cup last year. Like, it's
And he
just...
played
begging
more,
for a contract.
played more Origin than Reece Walsh this year.
yeah,
exactly. Like, it's just
right.
nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
He would have...
it's-
Yeah. The
But
fact
can
that
I
there's no
say-
money is crazy.
Like, Madge did well to not just... When he dropped him for that 1 week, I'm glad he just dropped him for the 1
Yes.
week.
Yes.
He didn't... Like, because I think if he kept him out for good, I think it would have turned the...
Yeah.
It would have destroyed him.
Yeah, it would have destroyed him and maybe sort of...
But he had to send a message, and it was a good one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sending
It
the
was
message
good
is one
enough.
thing, but
Yeah,
then you got to back it up and say, okay, let's consider your form the whole year. Consider
Yeah,
what
correct.
you've
That was
brought
the
in.
nice part,
That's the
exactly.
thing. Okay,
You've been good all year.
You've been good all
You've been
year. We're not
punished
going to
enough.
drop you the whole season because
Yeah.
you've of one
And
little
no one knew
suffer.
at that point, like, the club knew and obviously Madge knew, but they were on a booze ban.
That's
And
right.
that was from the players. The players decided to stop to stay off the alcohol for the last few weeks.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This was my question. There's so many players that you could create a story out of, like Shibasaki
Yep.
coming out of nowhere, training trial, whatever.
Man.
Ben Hunt, bro, I'm
Man,
so
come
happy.
back.
For
Yeah,
Ben
bro.
Hunt. Ben Hunt, if you're listening, I'm so happy you get to sleep at night, bro.
Yeah, bro.
After 2015,
Yeah.
seeing,
10
bro,
years.
And
my
the
guy is finally
Imagine
sleeping.
making
trauma.
a mistake now.
Why
Bro.
couldn't he have got an
Imagine-
HIA
Oh,
10
bro.
minutes to go in that grand final? So
Yeah, imagine. Oh,
no, if you made the mistake now, forget
bro,
it. He'd be
imagine
done
making
for.
a mistake now though.
The world we live in.
And in the world you live in now,
The
and your
memes.
redemption comes 10 years later.
Yeah.
Like that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's pretty amazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm just glad that he was there. I got to watch that field goal against the Raiders. I've never seen the guy kick a field goal in his life.
He's kicked-
He's
mind
kicked
you.
one before.
Yeah,
that,
maybe kick one before that in his
It's
whole career.
unreal. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Even that, bro. Even that, they don't let us celebrate normally. Like it couldn't just go over the post. normally.
bro.
That just
Yeah.
put us in suspense, bro. It hit the post, and I thought it was going to miss again, and then it went over. So at that point, I didn't even know if we got it or not.
No, you go.
But what about Ben Tulty?
Yes,
Bro,
I want
Ben
to talk about Ben
Tulty.
Tulty.
Bro.
What a guy.
Reserve grade New South Wales.
For Bears.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
to power gone, Tulty in.
Yeah.
And mate, he's just come in
Bro,
and he
unreal.
did such a great job.
Crushed.
That,
He
the
did so
part
good.
I hate to be a coach is like grand final week. Tulty, hey,
Yeah,
what's up?
yeah,
I love you,
yeah.
big fella, but
But we ran with
You
two
gotta sit
hookers
down.
in that
Yeah.
that grand final.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Tyson Smoothie. This
He
is the
was
thing. So
unreal.
we've
Yeah.
lost Hetherington
yeah,
and Smoothie,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think Smoothie. If we knew Hetherington was going, I think Smoothie would have stayed.
yeah,
But obviously that Hetherington was very, very recently that signing for
Yeah.
Manly.
It was pretty
looked like we
recent.
were going to keep him, and then
The thing was, Smoothie had signed before the season started, had
Correct.
signed to England, so
Yeah,
we never
correct.
knew what was going to come of
Because we
that.
just told him, mate, Blake Moses next up
Yeah.
for hooker. Like Corey Pake's got an extension. Like he was decent this year.
He,
yeah,
he-
took
He was
150k
solid.
pay cut though.
He did his job.
Yeah.
nothing more besides a dummy left.
Yeah.
bro, just don't dummy.
His
Don't
slowest service
just
just
give him
passed
the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
Give him
Could
the
be
ball.
worse.
You got
Could
Walters
be
outside. You
Macca.
got Walsh outside. Yeah,
Could be Macca, yeah.
yeah,
Could
could
be
be
worse.
Macca.
But hang on. Billy Walters was our best hooker this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Just
he's
by,
good
by
service.
far, bro.
Easily. He's one of
He
our best
was,
5'8".
he was
Yeah.
our top 3 players in those first
Yeah.
20 rounds.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
And then Mam and Reynolds get injured, and big balls play by Madge to move him to 5'8".
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
But you
that
know
was
he's
a
a
core,
5'8".
Huge
big
call,
core.
bro.
Because I thought that would make or
And
break
he was,
you.
he's always been
He's
a
a
half.
5'8".
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
always been a
5'8",
half.
yeah.
after his dad told him he wouldn't play 6 for the Brisbane Broncos.
yeah.
But can I say, I actually respected Kevvie even more than
Yeah,
when I heard that.
100%. Listen, I just love that now the the snippet of Seabold in the newspaper saying this man will win. We put Kevvy's face on top of that, it didn't work. Now we can put Madge's
Yeah,
face,
and it's
and
worked.
it's
actually
legitimate.
It's actually worked.
He needs his own article because he actually got
In
it
the
done.
grand final, 100%. In the grand final, when I saw Melbourne's first attacking set, the way they swept and they scored, I said, "Oh boy,
That was way
I
too
said,
easy.
I looked, I go, I can watch this forever.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to set the
And
standard.
then we touched the ball 2 times in the next 20 minutes
Yeah.
with 14 set restarts,
Correct.
penalties,
Yeah.
errors. Like, it just looked ominous.
I did see some glimpses of the way we finished that first half. I thought was decent, even though Jerome Hughes scored the last try in that first half.
Yep.
I looked at my mate earlier in the game. I said, "Listen, as long as we're not more than 10 points down at half time,
100%.
we're a chance of coming
We got
back."
lucky they didn't score to
We were
start the
10.
second.
We were
though.
10 points. Yeah, correct.
Kamikamica
Walsh-
should
Yeah,
have scored.
correct.
Walsh in
Walsh
defense.
is a freak.
Yeah, he's
Bro, you
insane.
remember how devastated I was when Walsh signed with the Warriors
Yep.
years ago?
Yeah, you go. I can't believe we let him
Because
go.
I had followed how this guy plays from the age of 16.
Yeah,
I knew he was a special talent, and I'm so glad we brought him back. Like, I'm so glad.
in the circumstances that had place. Yeah, I was so
Yeah.
glad you guys got him back as well.
Here's the other thing I'll say. There's
Yeah.
a million other players I could name who had unbelievable stories, but Reece Walsh, you know what I'm sick of, bro? I'm sick of everyone trying to compare. And let me just be honest. The Canberra Raiders game versus Brisbane Broncos is the best NRL game that's ever been played.
Yep.
Let's just, I'm happy to go out and say that.
Yep.
Reece Walsh in the grand final is the best individual performance of any grand final ever in the human history of grand finals.
Yeah, I agree.
Reece Walsh was on another
Yes.
planet.
Yeah, he was.
That try, the if you count all the points he
try.
either contributed to
Live.
or
Try.
held back, unbelievable.
The amount of points he saved.
Bro,
was just,
he
Seven
Reece
tackles
Walsh
he
broke.
v
He sent
Melbourne is 30 to whatever
yeah.
Melbourne
He came to
scored.
Paps
Yeah,
and was like,
Yeah,
"What are you doing?"
That was the
here?
easiest. Yeah,
You shouldn't be
the
here.
way he was so quick to
he
come
had
out.
this, he had
broke
to
seven-
play.
like,
He had to play out
there was
right.
a gap. Yeah, and there was a gap in the center
Yeah.
of the field. Ran through that
And
players-
right in the
Right.
middle of it,
Players
was
bouncing off
Pappenhausen waiting for him,
he
and he's
starts running at the 40-meter line,
Yeah.
bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, I just
Full
looked. I
pelt.
remember looking at him thinking, why is this bloke sprinting?
Yeah.
And he just literally ran as hard as he possibly could at him. It was just people forget, bro, how tough this guy is.
Nah, he's a
They
beast.
give him so much crap, bro, because he's injured or whatever half the time when he gets up from a tackle. Bro, nobody runs harder than
Yeah.
him. He runs so hard at the defensive line every time he runs.
Talk about how much of a beast he is when that play to set up the try for I think it was Karapani in the 77th minute against the Panthers at Suncorp,
Yeah.
where he got the ball and he broke like 4 tackles and popped the ball.
Right.
Because this
Runs
guy
in.
is a monster.
Unreal. Yeah, exactly.
He's a monster.
Moments,
yeah.
To do that and then
No matter what, like,
yeah. That I agree with you.
gets out,
Individually,
yeah.
that's one of the greatest performances, attack and defense, that I've seen
Yeah.
from an individual. Because everyone's like, "Oh, what about Cleary?"
Bro,
you know,
he had 15 minutes, bro.
yeah,
Cleary
it was
has
15 minutes, and
In
also
attack.
also
Yeah.
Crichton's influence on that game was huge.
Unbelievable.
and Ezra Mam scored 3 tries straight.
Straight at Cleary. Straight at Cleary. Yeah.
Exactly. So everyone's talking about, "Oh, Cleary this,
Yeah.
Cleary that." Put it to
Please.
bed.
Yeah.
Walsh, incredible,
Yeah.
absolutely
His
incredible.
daughter can paint his nails for all I care.
Nah, I
especially our friend
Brother,
Peter. He,
but
he
can I
particularly
ask-
loves that.
Can I ask? So you guys watched him in the first week of the finals against the Raiders.
Yep.
It was, I think, it was 2 40-20s, 3
Oh.
tries,
Scored a try.
2 tries.
Yeah.
Was that a more dominant performance
In
than
70
the grand
minutes.
final?
Oh.
I think it was.
I think
bro.
with the circumstances at it, you guys
think
were
it-
down by
Yeah,
16.
I think it was.
I don't think he saved as many.
He didn't. He
points,
didn't save any.
But
No,
And-
but
and
that
he
all
let
had to
him
come off
do it,
attack.
And that was
They all
20
had to be
minutes.
attacked.
Yeah.
That was 20 minutes. That was similar to the Nathan
Yeah,
Cleary
true.
thing.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
20 good minutes after he gets sent off, he come
Yeah.
back on.
that
That
was
grand
the 20
final.
best minutes of footy I've ever seen from any player.
Agreed. That the grand final was an 80
minute.
minute
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. It
perfection,
was perfect.
Yes.
not
From-
one mistake, unbelievable.
Yeah.
he wasn't dropping
performance.
high balls either. If
Nothing.
you watched
He
our
was
game
spot on.
against the Cowboys late
Yeah.
in the season, where it was like 50 points to
Made 4 or 5,
40,
Yeah.
mate, every second bomb, knock on under pressure, whatever. Anytime the ball went up from Melbourne, they would chase well,
Yeah.
and he would come down with it safely every time. Like, he just played pretty much the perfect game and then did extra on top.
yeah.
Bro, last year, Reynolds got injured in one of the games, and I watched Walsh go into halfback, and I said, I actually think he'll end up. We're getting Pezza, and we've got Mam anyway, so he'll never need to move into the halves.
So you reckon he's going to end up
5'8",
like
he could
Lockyer?
be a
I think
5'8",
the bloke's
yeah,
a
yeah.
half, bro.
When he slows down,
he's a
yeah.
half.
Is it?
Walsh.
I think Walsh is
Oh, sorry,
a half.
Walsh.
Yeah. So even when he slows down his play, so when he got injured this year, he actually played better because he slowed it down and he was able to just. Sometimes it's almost like his body was too fast for his mind. Yeah. It just wasn't aligned at times. Like he would run too quick and pass it, and there'd be so many forward passes, errors, balls over the top. Whereas when he picked up that PCL injury, it's like he got his timing a bit more right. Like he slowed down that just tiny bit.
Yeah.
But then by the end of the season, it was his team. With Reynolds out, it
Yeah.
became his team. He was first receiver, second receiver, third receiver,
He was everything.
blindside play. He was calling the shots. Ben Hunt allowed that.
I was about to say the influence of Ben Hunt,
Absolutely.
giving him all that ball, giving him all that space.
See, Reynolds couldn't do that.
That's right.
Reynolds plays more within a box, right? Hunt plays what's in front of him.
Yeah.
Better than most halfbacks, other than Moses,
Yeah.
right? So for him, he sees Walsh and goes, yeah, you know what? Play it. Do it. Because he'll take the risk. I don't know if you guys remember that 2015 grand final.
Yep.
Bro, Milford and Hunt were doing that with 2 minutes to go. We made a line break and dropped the ball.
Yeah, that's
2
right.
minutes to
On the
go.
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's what
they
gave
were-
him that last
They
set.
were playing that
Yeah.
exact same way.
Yeah.
That's after we kicked for the sideline 47 times in that match. to
Yeah,
try
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Slow the
We just
game
defended
down.
the game down.
Yeah.
Can I say, and I know you have to wrap up. I could talk about the Brisbane. We could talk about the Brisbane.
I'll talk about it
Broncos
forever.
for
I don't
about
wanna wrap
15
up,
days.
but we have to-
The biggest contrast was, I think, which we're all sick of Penrith, but the system versus just a bunch of talented freaks, right?
Yeah.
I'm so proud to be a Broncos #1 owner. Secondly, because they're a publicly listed company. Secondly, minority owner.
Doesn't matter. You take it. Owner's owner, baby.
Secondly, just a fan because we got to win the grand final playing Broncos football,
Yeah.
playing vintage Broncos cultured football. This was a club that was built on the spectacle, the performance, the blockbuster way, and we didn't. Penrith have developed this system where you plug in players and whatnot. That's not the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Broncos
Same as
are,
Melbourne.
we get a bunch of talented freaks, put them in a room and get the best out of them. And this is what we can serve up. So I'm so happy to see the contrast between the dominance of Penrith and the you insert whatever player and Cleary sort of orchestrates it to Reece Walsh, get on my back. Let's go. Let's get a bunch of talent and let's play rock and roll football. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I'm so
But
happy
we
to
had
see
to
it.
change that 10 weeks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we were playing Madge ball for 10
That's
weeks.
right.
It was
Very,
round one.
yeah.
very
We were
Todd
playing Madge ball. It
Carney,
was
Jared
boring.
Haynes-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, I don't know how long you got, but 30 seconds.
Yep. I knew this is going.
Walsh,
Yeah, here we go. I knew this was
Hayne.
coming. I knew this was coming.
Barber,
Not even close.
Turbo.
Turbo.
Who had the better... Bro, have you seen Turbo stats from 5 years ago?
Did you say Reece Walsh this?
I understand that, but
Okay.
who had the better season?
Walsh got it done, bro. Walsh got it done.
I think that's the difference.
That's the
got it
difference. Walsh got it done amongst all of them. Hayne
Yeah.
had a good...
Hayne had a whole good season, didn't he? Was it?
No, he just
the
had a whole good
Barber
period of
had
back
the
end.
whole season.
Barber had an
Barber had an
incredible
unbelievable
The whole
season.
season.
Barber wins the comp. He's the best one.
Yeah.
It'd be between him and Walsh as who
Agreed.
would be the best.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
Walsh got it done.
Yeah. That's
But the thing is with
ultimately-
Walsh, like I said, it was only that 10-week period.
10-week period.
Hayne was very
Was
similar.
Hayne- Hayne was a
Turbo
bit
was all
longer. Hayne
season.
was a
Barber
bit
was all
longer.
season. The only difference is that he
Hayne
got
was
it
about
done.
15
Yeah.
weeks.
Do you know what the real difference was? Reece Walsh drank toilet water, and
What a Reece
and
plumbing.
he did not lose a game. He still hasn't. He's still undefeated. My guy's still undefeated from the toilet water, bro.
Stefano's up. Stefano's stuck. We're up, baby. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. And on that note, boys, thank you so much for tuning and joining. Appreciate you guys coming
Thanks,
on
mate.
and discussing the Bronx.
Sorry for taking your couch.
Does
bro.
anyone,
That's
have,
fine,
does
man.
anyone have Buzz?
Do you want me to wrap it up for you?
Sorry, Jackie, can you kill out the podcast, mate? Sorry, I forgot to show for a sec. Please.
Yeah, I've got Buzz's number.
I have been
Buzz
thinking when I'm on this podcast, I've been thinking that's it. I want to do a Broncos podcast every
Brother,
week.
I mean-
the history of the game. That's,
I mean, but
I'm
guys,
stacking.
thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to the podcast. Boys, thank you again for jumping on, talking all things Bronx.
Thanks for that.
I feel like I'm a closer
Thanks,
Broncos
guys.
fan now after that, but thank you guys for tuning in. All the best, and we'll see you with our next episode coming soon with a special guest. Just stay tuned. Take it easy.
Yes, we love Lachlan Gallagher.
thanks, guy.